Before we begin, let me tell you about the man behind this idea. His name is Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. You can call him Csikszentmihalyi. He was a Hungarian psychologist born in 1934, right in the middle of one of the most chaotic times in human history. World War II. Plus, destruction, uncertainty everywhere. As a young boy, Mihaly watched the adults around him fall apart. Some lost hope. Some lost the will to keep going. But some people, even in the middle of suffering, stayed alive inside. They stayed curious. They stayed purposeful. And young Mihaly asked himself a question that would define the rest of his life. Why do some people stay happy and full of life even in the middle of suffering, while others collapse? That question became his life's mission. He moved to the United States, studied psychology at the University of Chicago, and spent over 30 years researching one single thing: what makes life truly worth living. He studied thousands of people: artists, surgeons, chess players, rock climbers, factory workers, teachers, athletes. And after all of that research, all of those interviews, all of those years, he found a pattern, a single state of being that kept appearing again and again in the lives of the happiest, most fulfilled people on Earth. He called it flow. And in 1990, he published the book that changed psychology forever. Flow, The Psychology of Optimal Experience. Today, that book is considered one of the most important works ever written about happiness, human performance, and the meaning of life. So take a slow breath, because what you are about to hear might completely change the way you see your own life. Have you ever been so focused on something that you completely forgot about time? Maybe you were drawing, or writing, or playing a sport, or solving a really hard problem. And suddenly, you look up, and 2 hours have gone by. But it felt like 20 minutes. You weren't hungry. You weren't tired. You weren't bored. You were just there. Fully there. Completely alive in that one moment. That feeling, that state, has a name. It is called flow. And according to one of the greatest psychologists who ever lived, that feeling is not just enjoyable. It is the secret to a truly happy life. Think about this for a moment. We spend so much of our lives chasing happiness. We buy things. We scroll through our phones. We plan vacations. We look for pleasure in every corner of our lives. But somehow, true happiness keeps escaping us. We feel bored, restless, empty, distracted. We wonder, is this all there is? But what if happiness is not something you chase? What if happiness is something you enter? What if it is already available to you, right now, in whatever you are doing? That is exactly what this book is about. And this is your complete journey through it. From beginning to end. Every idea, every insight, every piece of wisdom that Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi spent his life uncovering. Welcome to Flow, the Psychology of Optimal Experience. Let us start with the most fundamental question. What exactly is flow? Mihaly defines flow as a state of complete immersion in an activity where everything else disappears and you are fully engaged in what you are doing. He calls it the optimal experience. Not optimal because it is always comfortable, but optimal because it is the fullest expression of what a human being is capable of. In simple words, flow is when you are doing something and you and that thing become one. Let us make this real. Imagine a musician playing guitar late at night. They start at 10 p.m. They think they will play for just 30 minutes. But when they finally look up, it is 2 in the morning. And they feel amazing. Not exhausted, alive. Or imagine a student solving a really hard math problem. At first it is frustrating, but then something clicks, and for the next hour, nothing else exists. Not hunger, not noise, not worry, just the problem and the solution unfolding together. Or imagine a basketball player in the middle of a game. Everything slows down. Every shot feels natural. Every movement feels perfect. It is like the game is playing itself through them. Athletes call this being in the zone. Musicians call this being in the groove. Writers call this the muse arriving. But they are all describing the exact same thing: flow. Now here is something that scientists discovered about flow that is truly fascinating. When researchers studied people in flow states, they found something unexpected. The brain actually becomes quieter during flow, not noisier. The part of the brain responsible for self-criticism, self-doubt, and self-consciousness becomes less active. This is why in flow, you stop worrying about what people think of you. You stop judging yourself. You stop second-guessing every move. The inner critic goes completely silent. And at the same time, the brain releases a powerful mix of chemicals, dopamine, norepinephrine, anandamide, that create feelings of deep focus, pleasure, and heightened creativity. Your thinking becomes clearer. Your movements become smoother. Your ideas come faster. You are operating at your absolute best. And here is what Mihaly found to be one of the most important truths in his entire life's work. The best moments in our lives are not the passive, receptive, relaxing times. They are the moments when a person's body or mind is stretched to its limits in a voluntary effort to accomplish something difficult and worthwhile. Read that again slowly in your mind. The best moments in life are not when you are lying on a couch watching television. They are when you are deeply engaged, fully challenged, fully alive. Now that we understand what flow is, there is something else we need to understand first. Something that will make everything else make sense. And that is this: why do most of us feel unhappy so much of the time? Here is an uncomfortable truth. Most of us spend the majority of our lives feeling bored, anxious, restless, or empty. Not because something terrible is happening, not because our lives are falling apart, but simply because our minds are not focused. Mihaly introduces a concept he calls psychic entropy. Entropy means disorder, chaos, randomness, and psychic entropy, mental entropy, is what happens when your mind is left without a clear focus. Think about what happens when you have nothing to do. Your mind starts wandering. You think about your problems, your fears, your regrets, your worries about the future. The mind, when left to itself, naturally slides toward negativity. This is actually built into our biology. Our brains evolved to scan for threats and problems. So when there is nothing specific to focus on, the brain starts scanning, and scanning, and scanning. What if I fail? What if they do not like me? What if I am not good enough? What if things go wrong? This is psychic entropy, and it is the root cause of most human unhappiness. Mihaly identified two main states that keep us away from happiness. The first is boredom. Boredom happens when a task is too easy for our skill level, when there is no challenge, when we feel, "This is pointless, I could do this in my sleep." A bored person feels restless, disconnected, and unmotivated. The second state is anxiety. Anxiety happens when a task is far too difficult for our current skill level. When we feel overwhelmed, out of control, like we are drowning. An anxious person feels stressed, paralyzed, and fearful. Both boredom and anxiety pull us completely out of flow. And if we are honest with ourselves, Most of us spend the majority of our days bouncing between one of these two states. Here is something Mihaly discovered that will truly surprise you. We believe that relaxation makes us happy, that doing nothing, watching television, scrolling social media, lounging around, will restore us and fill us back up. But research tells a very different story. When people are passively relaxing, watching TV for example, their mood actually drops. They feel more restless, more empty, more unmotivated. But when people are actively engaged, even in something as simple as gardening or cooking, their mood rises. They feel more capable, more alive, more satisfied. This is one of the most important insights in the entire book. Passive pleasure feels good in the moment, but active engagement creates lasting happiness. The mind needs challenge. The mind needs focus. The mind needs something meaningful to do. Without it, we drift into entropy, into chaos, into that hollow feeling that so many of us know so well. But with it, with the right kind of engagement, we enter flow. And flow is where we truly come alive. So if unhappiness comes from an unfocused mind, then the key to happiness must be learning how to focus. And that brings us to what Mihaly considers the very foundation of everything, the science of attention. Everything in this book, every idea, every insight, every practical tool, comes back to one single thing: where you put your attention. Mihaly says that the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your attention, not your intelligence, not your talent, not your background or your luck, your attention. He uses the phrase psychic energy to describe attention. Wherever you direct your psychic energy, that is where your life goes. That is what you experience. That is what becomes real for you. Think about it this way. Two people sit next to each other at the same concert. One person is fully present, listening deeply, feeling the music, absorbed in every single note. The other person is distracted, thinking about work, half checking their phone, barely there. They are at the same concert, but they are having completely different experiences. The quality of the experience, the beauty, the emotion, the joy, does not come from the concert itself. It comes from the attention given to it. Here is another fascinating piece of science. The human mind can process about 110 bits of information per second. That sounds like a lot. But consider this. Just listening to and understanding speech takes about 60 bits per second. This means our attention is incredibly precious and incredibly limited. You literally cannot pay full attention to two things at once. When you try to multitask, you are not doing two things at full power. You are doing two things at half power. And this is exactly why flow requires single-pointed, undivided focus. When all of your attention, every single bit of your 110 bits per second, is directed at one thing, that is when flow becomes possible. Mihaly argues that the ultimate goal of human life, the thing that brings the deepest freedom, is learning to control your own consciousness. Not controlling the world around you. Not controlling what other people do. Not controlling your circumstances. Controlling what happens inside your own mind. Because here is the reality. External circumstances will always be uncertain. Life will always have problems. Things will always happen that you did not plan for. But if you learn to direct your attention, if you learn to choose what your mind focuses on, then nothing outside of you can truly steal your happiness. Mihaly found that people who had developed this ability, this control over their own attention, were consistently the happiest people he ever studied. Not because their lives were perfect, but because they could find flow almost anywhere. A surgeon who enters flow while performing a delicate operation. A farmer who enters flow while working the fields. A mother who enters flow while playing with her children. Even a prisoner in solitary confinement who enters flow through solving mathematical puzzles entirely in his own head. Flow is not reserved for the talented or the privileged. It is available to anyone who learns to direct their attention fully and completely. Now we know that attention is the key, but attention alone is not enough. There is a very specific condition that makes flow possible, and once you understand it, you will be able to engineer flow into your own life deliberately. It is the balance between challenge and skill. This is perhaps the most practical concept in the entire book. And once you truly understand it, you will never look at your work, your hobbies, or your goals the same way again. Mihaly discovered that flow exists in a very specific sweet spot. Imagine a simple graph. On one axis is the level of challenge. On the other axis is the level of skill. When the challenge is very high, but your skill is very low, you feel anxious, overwhelmed, paralyzed. When the challenge is very low, but your skill is very high, you feel bored, unchallenged, restless. But when the challenge and the skill are balanced, when the task is hard enough to stretch you, but not so hard that it breaks you, that is when you enter what Mihaly calls the flow channel. This is something you can feel in your own life right now. Think about the last time you were truly absorbed in something. Maybe it was a video game that was just the right level of difficulty. Maybe it was a work project that pushed you but did not crush you. Maybe it was a conversation that really made you think. That feeling of being stretched, but not broken, that is the flow channel. That is the sweet spot where optimal experience lives. Here is something even more interesting. The flow channel is not fixed. It moves. As you get better at something, as your skill grows, the things that used to challenge you no longer do. They become easy, automatic, boring. So to stay in flow, you must keep raising the level of challenge. Think of a beginner learning to cook. The first time they make pasta, it is a real challenge. They have to focus intensely. Every step requires attention, and they feel the deep satisfaction of flow. But after making pasta 100 times, it becomes automatic. There is no more challenge, no more flow. So they have to level up. Try a new cuisine, a more complex recipe, a completely new technique, and the flow returns. This is the secret behind all true mastery and all true growth. The pursuit of flow naturally drives you toward becoming better. Because staying in flow requires you to keep expanding, keep growing, keep challenging yourself at a higher and higher level. In this way, flow and personal growth are the same journey. One leads directly to the other. And once you understand the challenge and skill balance, you begin to see something deeply important. Happiness is not found in easy things. Happiness is not found in doing nothing. Happiness is found at the edge of your ability, in that narrow corridor where you are stretching yourself just enough. And that means you have the power to design your own happiness. Not by making life easier, but by making it more engaging. Now that we understand what creates flow, let us talk about what flow actually feels like from the inside. Through thousands of interviews across dozens of countries, Mihaly identified 8 specific characteristics that define the flow experience. These are like the fingerprints of flow. The first characteristic is complete concentration. When you are in flow, your attention is completely absorbed by the task at hand. Nothing else exists. No distracting thoughts. No wandering mind. Just the task and you and the space between you and it. The second characteristic is clarity of goals. In flow, you always know exactly what you need to do next. There is no confusion, no uncertainty about direction. Just clear, moment-to-moment action. A rock climber knows exactly where to put their hand next. A writer knows exactly what word comes next. The path ahead is completely clear. The third characteristic is immediate feedback. Flow requires fast, clear feedback. You know right away whether what you are doing is working or not. A tennis player knows immediately if they hit the ball correctly. A programmer sees immediately if their code runs. The feedback loop is tight and continuous, which keeps you engaged, responsive, and constantly improving. The fourth characteristic is effortless control. In flow, you feel a powerful sense of control, but it does not feel like effort. It feels natural, almost automatic, like everything is unfolding exactly as it should. This is why athletes in the zone say things like, "The game just happened through me." They were not forcing it. They were flowing with it. The fifth characteristic is the loss of self-consciousness. In flow, the ego disappears. You stop worrying about how you look. You stop caring what people think. You stop judging yourself with every move. All of that inner noise goes completely silent. And this is one of the most liberating aspects of flow. For a few moments, or a few hours, you are free from the burden of self. The sixth characteristic is the transformation of time. In flow, time stops behaving normally. Hours can feel like minutes, or a single intense moment can stretch and feel like a lifetime. You have felt this. You sit down to work on something you love, and suddenly it is dark outside. Where did the day go? That is flow bending your experience of time. The seventh characteristic is intrinsic motivation. In flow, you do the activity for its own sake. Not for a reward. Not for approval. Not for money. The experience itself is the reward. Mihaly calls this the autotelic experience. Auto meaning self, telos meaning goal. The goal is the experience itself. The doing is the reward. And the eighth characteristic, the most beautiful of all, is the merging of action and awareness. In flow, the separation between you and what you are doing completely disappears. You are not watching yourself do the thing. You are the thing. The painter does not see themselves painting. They are painting. The dancer does not watch themselves dance. They are the dance. These 8 characteristics are not things you try to create one by one. When flow arrives, they all arrive together, like a single complete state of being. And once you know what to look for, you will start recognizing flow moments in your own life that you never noticed before. Now we know what flow feels like. We know what creates it. So let us talk about the part that changes everything. How do you actually enter the flow state deliberately? The honest truth is, you cannot force flow. You cannot demand it and have it appear. But you can create the conditions that make it far more likely. Think of it like planting a garden. You cannot make the flower bloom by will alone. But you can give it the right soil, the right sunlight, the right water. And if you do everything right, the flower will come. The first condition is to set clear goals. Before you begin any task, know exactly what you are trying to accomplish. Not a vague idea. A specific, clear, achievable goal. Do not say, "I am going to work on my project." Say, "I am going to write the introduction, and I will finish it by 3 o'clock." Do not say, "I am going to practice guitar." Say, "I am going to master the chord transition from G to C until it feels completely smooth." Clear goals give your mind a specific target. And a mind with a clear target can focus. A mind without one simply wanders. The second condition is to match the challenge to your skill. If you feel bored, deliberately increase the difficulty. Add a constraint. Set a tighter time limit. Try a harder variation. Push yourself a little further. If you feel anxious, break the task down. Make it smaller. Focus only on the very next step. Reduce the scope until the challenge feels manageable. Constantly calibrate. Not too easy, not too hard. Right at the edge of your ability. The third condition is to eliminate all distractions. This is perhaps the most practical advice in the entire book. Flow requires continuous, uninterrupted attention, and distractions shatter it completely. Put your phone in another room. Turn off every notification. Close all unnecessary browser tabs. Find a quiet space. Tell the people around you that you need focus time. The modern world is engineered to steal your attention. Social media, news feeds, messages, alerts, all of it is designed to interrupt you constantly. Protecting your attention is not a luxury. It is one of the most powerful things you can do for your life. The fourth condition is to fully commit. Flow does not come to people who are half in. You have to make a complete decision. For the next 2 hours, this is the only thing that exists. I am all in. The moment you hold something back, the moment you keep one eye on your phone or one foot out the door, flow evaporates instantly. Full commitment is the doorway. The fifth condition is to embrace the process. People who enter flow most easily are those who have learned to love what they are doing, not just the outcome they are working toward. They do not just want the finished painting. They love painting. They do not just want to be fit. They love training. They do not just want the degree. They genuinely love learning. When you shift from outcome focus to process focus, when you fall in love with the doing itself, flow becomes your natural state. Not a rare lucky moment. Because flow lives in the doing, not in the having done. And one final thing about entering flow. It takes time to warm up. Most people do not enter flow instantly. There is usually an initial period, maybe 10 to 20 minutes, of resistance, distraction, and mental noise. You will feel like quitting. You will feel like checking your phone. You will feel like the work is too hard or too slow or not going anywhere. Push through that initial resistance. Do not stop because it feels difficult at the beginning. Keep going. Keep focusing. Keep breathing. Because on the other side of that resistance, flow is waiting for you. We have talked about how to create flow deliberately. But one of the most powerful discoveries Mihaly made is that flow is not limited to special activities or extraordinary moments. Flow can be found everywhere, in the most ordinary parts of your daily life. Many people see work as something to survive, something to endure until Friday finally arrives. But Mihaly found that work is actually one of the richest potential sources of flow in human life. When people describe their flow experiences, the times they felt most alive and most engaged, a very significant portion of those moments happen at work. The problem is not work itself. The problem is that most work is poorly designed for flow. Tasks are too vague. Goals are unclear. Feedback is delayed by days or weeks. Distractions are constant. But here is what is powerful. You can redesign your own relationship with work, even without changing your job. Set clearer personal goals. Find the aspects of your work that genuinely challenge you. Create moments of focused, uninterrupted work every single day. Turn routine tasks into small personal games. Set time targets. Try to beat your previous performance. Add small variations. Mihaly found some of the happiest people in his entire study were assembly line workers, people doing the same repetitive task hundreds of times a day, who had found creative ways to make their routine deeply engaging and deeply challenging. Flow is not just a solo experience either. Two people in a deep, fully present conversation can enter a kind of shared flow together. When both people are genuinely listening, genuinely engaging, genuinely curious about each other, the conversation takes on a quality that feels almost magical. Time disappears. Ideas spark. Connection deepens in a way that you feel long after the conversation ends. The opposite is also true. Have you ever been in a conversation where the other person was clearly somewhere else, half on their phone, half in their own thoughts? It feels hollow. The quality of your relationships, like the quality of all experience, depends entirely on the quality of attention you bring to them. Full presence is the greatest gift you can give another person, and it is also your doorway to shared flow. Now here is something that will genuinely surprise you. People can enter flow while doing the dishes, or while cooking, or while walking, or while gardening. It is not about the activity. It is about the approach. When you bring complete attention to simple tasks, when you turn them into opportunities for engagement rather than obstacles to get through, they become sources of flow. Washing dishes mindfully, feeling the temperature of the water, noticing the rhythm of the movement, setting a small personal goal of perfect cleanliness. What sounds tedious becomes meditative. What sounds boring becomes centering. This is one of the most liberating ideas in the entire book. You can find flow everywhere, in anything, if you choose to bring your full self to it. Mihaly also noticed that some people seem to enter flow more easily and more consistently than others. He called these people autotelic personalities, people who carry flow potential within themselves wherever they go. What makes them different? They are deeply curious. They set clear personal goals. They find intrinsic reward in whatever they do. They do not need external praise or validation to feel motivated. They are resilient in the face of difficulty. They see challenges as opportunities rather than threats. And here is the most beautiful truth about this. These are not fixed traits you are either born with or not. They are skills. They can be developed. They can be deliberately practiced every single day. You can become an autotelic person. You can train yourself to find flow more and more consistently in more and more areas of your life. And as you do, your entire relationship with life begins to transform. We have come a long way together, and now we arrive at the deepest question of all. The one that underlies every single thing we have talked about. What is happiness, really? And what does flow have to do with it? Most people think happiness is a feeling, a pleasant emotion that arrives when good things happen, when you get the promotion, when you fall in love, when you achieve the goal, when the circumstances finally line up the way you want it. But Mihaly's research reveals something far more profound. Happiness is not a feeling that happens to you. Happiness is a state of consciousness that you create through how you choose to direct your attention and how deeply you choose to engage with life. Here is a paradox that Mihaly uncovered that will stay with you long after today. The activities that feel the best in the moment, the passive pleasures of eating, resting, entertainment, are not the ones that produce the deepest happiness. The activities that produce the most lasting, most meaningful happiness are the ones that require effort, challenge, and full focus, even though they may not feel comfortable in the moment. In other words, the path to happiness is often uncomfortable. It runs through difficulty, through challenge, through the stretch of learning something new, creating something meaningful, pushing past the limits of what you thought you could do. The parent who chooses to fully engage with their child, phone away, mind present, heart open, experiences more genuine happiness than the parent who zones out in front of the television. The worker who attacks a challenging project with full focus and commitment feels more alive at the end of the day than the worker who coasted through easy, mindless tasks. But here is the deepest insight of all. Flow is not just about happiness in the moment. Flow is connected to something bigger. It is connected to meaning. When you regularly experience flow, when you build a life filled with deep engagement and purposeful challenge, something profound begins to happen. Your life starts to feel meaningful. Not just pleasant, not just comfortable, not just successful by whatever standard the world measures you by. Meaningful, purposeful, worth living, deeply, unmistakably worth living. Mihaly found that the people who reported the highest levels of life satisfaction, the people who described their lives as truly wonderful, were not the wealthiest or the most famous. They were the people who had filled their lives with flow experiences. Artists who had dedicated themselves completely to their craft. Scientists who genuinely loved their research. Teachers who were deeply invested in every one of their students. Athletes who found meaning not in the trophies but in the pursuit of mastery itself. Parents who brought full presence and full creativity to raising their children. These people did not necessarily have easy lives. Many of them faced tremendous difficulty, but they had discovered the secret that most people never find. A meaningful life is not built from ease and comfort. It is built from depth of engagement. And Mihaly goes even further, to a final, beautiful idea that brings everything together. The most profound flow experiences, the ones that leave people feeling that life is genuinely extraordinary, often involve something bigger than themselves. When your flow activity connects to something meaningful, to helping others, to creating something that lasts, to contributing to a family or a community or a cause, it becomes more than optimal experience. It becomes transcendence. The surgeon in flow, knowing their skill is saving a human life. The teacher in flow, knowing their passion is igniting a young mind that will carry that spark forward. The writer in flow, knowing their words might one day change how someone sees the world. When you align your flow with your purpose, when what you do deeply and what you care about deeply are the same thing, life achieves a quality that is almost impossible to put into words. It is the feeling that you are exactly where you are supposed to be, doing exactly what you are supposed to be doing, becoming exactly who you are supposed to become. We have come to the end of this journey, and I want to leave you with the single most important idea at the heart of this entire book. The one thought I want you to carry with you as you step back into your day. Happiness is not something that happens to you. It is not the result of good fortune or random chance. It is not something that money can buy or power can command. It depends on how you interpret your experiences and on the quality of attention and engagement you bring to your life. You have far more control over your happiness than you have ever been told. Not by controlling what happens to you, but by controlling what you do with your attention. By choosing to engage deeply rather than consume passively. By matching challenge to skill and finding that narrow corridor of optimal experience. By bringing full presence, full consciousness, to whatever you are doing right now in this moment. Flow is not a destination. It is a way of traveling. It is not a reward for the talented. It is available to anyone who chooses to fully engage with life. And the more you choose it, the more it chooses you. So I want to ask you one final question. What is the one thing in your life, the one activity that makes you lose track of time? That one precious, specific thing is your doorway to flow. Protect it. Invest in it. Let it grow. And as you build more and more flow into your days, you will discover something remarkable. Life becomes richer. Work becomes meaningful. Relationships deepen. Creativity flourishes. Not because the world changed, but because you changed. That is the promise of flow. That is the psychology of optimal experience. That is what Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi spent his entire life teaching us. And now you know it too.